You're watching today's video technical update presented by FX Times. It is Friday, June 18th, 2010. I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst, and I'll go over some developments in the Forex markets. The bout of risk appetite that returned 2 weeks ago is being tested. There is a similar dynamic in the euro yen, pound yen, Canadian dollar yen, and Aussie yen, although the commodity currencies fared better this week. The US dollar Japanese yen pair is still in a long intermediate term range but is short term bearish. Let's take a look at these yen crosses. This video is being produced at about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time ahead of this week's close. The pound yen pair has trouble surpassing the 136 area, and we saw that second attempt this week fail again. So this is Friday, Thursday. So earlier this week, the market attempted to rally above this previous high here at 50% retracement level, but failed and came 4 days of sort of indecisive, narrow candlesticks. At the moment in the daily, you see that we have this correction, and a equality of this second leg to the first leg suggests some further rally. But we do see some resistance earlier than that here at the 61.8% retracement at 138.50. There's a power line here, power zone here. You see here support, here resistance, and also you have your 61.8% retracement and your 50 period moving average. So the market may still rally a bit before topping, and if it's the bearish continuation can be signal if the market breaks below this rising support line. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, reason I believe there may still be one more push is that we have a positive RSI reversal here, so we may have one more push towards that 138 area, but we may fall short. Here, see the previous high here is at 136.30, so I would anticipate this area still to be of resistance. Okay, so pound yen, looking back at the daily, is bearish here in the intermediate term, but in the short term and near term, we may still see another bullish attempt. Okay, that's the pound yen. The euro yen is also pressured in the intermediate and longer intermediate term. As you see here, the market, the euro yen slid very sharply in May, but June, end of May and start of June have seen this market in this range here. So this range comes down to about 108 area here, and also has resistance around the 114 area. So 108 to 114 is this range. The market at the moment this week has rallied towards this 114 top, but here we have some indecision candles, and Friday we may have a bearish candle. So there's some topping action in the near term or short term here, suggested by the daily. In the intermediate term, we also have some bearish outlook because of a negative RSI reversal. So this actually points lower towards 101.50 area. Okay, but if we look at the bigger picture, you see here we already broke this previous low here, and the market came up to test it once, trying to test it maybe a second time. But in any case, the euro yen is very bearish after breaking below this 114. So if 114 holds still as resistance, then we could see some further decline coming out of the euro yen. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we're trying to assess when this correction would be complete. At the moment, it's in the middle of the upper half of this range, so not a lot of clues. We do have higher highs and top and lows, so we're still bullish, but the market has decelerated and right now is giving us a bearish reversal. Okay, I'm sorry, bearish divergence. You see the price here, the RSI here is sliding lower, or the price high was higher, and then see the market is now starting to go lower. So there's some sideways action developing, and until that sideways action is broken to the downside, we're still in this correction. So if the market, for example, breaks below this rising support, then we may be testing this 108 area in the next couple of weeks. All right, so that's the euro yen pair. There isn't much to add about the Aussie yen and the Canadian dollar yen this week. As you see, the market spent this week mainly in sort of an indecisive, possibly topping action. I mentioned earlier that the commodity currencies are faring better than the euro and pound against the yen, and that is because in this correction, you see we have our highs here above this previous leg of correction rally. So the Aussie and here is a Canadian dollar yen also. The second leg here has broken this previous one. So let me just quickly revert back to the euro yen where we missed the top here. You see here, and again the pound yen also. We are almost here at the top, but did not break it. So here, that's the one reflection that the Canadian dollar and Aussie dollar may be stronger than the euro and the pound this week, but not by a lot. So it's nothing significant to go by. And in the daily Canadian dollar yen pair, you see this price action that's indicative of a reversal pattern. It is coming after the 61.8% retracement and 50 moving average, so there is some resistance here to look for. Here's the Aussie yen. Here it's below 50%. Also, we have this type of action. Looking at the 4-hour time frame now, we see that right here we have some topping action in the form of a triangle. So if the market breaks below this triangle, we may be complete with our correction. But it's this last 2 weeks have been very choppy, and I suspect that it may continue to be choppy for quite some time. So don't be too quick to judge, to assess that this correction is over, although the first sign would be a break of this triangle. Okay, so Canadian dollar yen also here is a descending triangle or a wedge. Okay, so that's the Aussie dollar and Canadian dollar yen pairs. I actually suspect that there could be one more push up before we see topping and then a reversal back to the bearish mode. Okay, so this is the maximum projection of this swing here in the Canadian dollar yen pair. This would be the projection, but we do see some resistance even before that. Okay, here also we're actually seeing some resistance already here with these pivots. Alright, so that's it for Aussie and Canadian dollar yen. The US dollar Japanese yen pair is very choppy, although it's been bearish. Let's take a look at the weekly actually. You see in the weekly we see the market has been bearish but very choppy. But as of late, it sort of entered into a sideways action in 2009, although it's still sort of a bearish a triangle forming here, or a wedge pattern. Take these lows, something like that. So in any case, this is consolidation, and the market now in the daily time frame you see is ranging between 88 and 95. So 88 area down here and 95. So there's some major support if the market comes to 88. But you see right now the market's in the middle of this range. So to be honest, I'm very uncertain of these outlooks. One scenario is this Gartley that could form and then another rally from here. Okay, that's an outlook from the closer price action. Overall market action, you see that we have a negative reversal in the RSI, so that actually suggests some kind of decline like that. I'm sorry, from here, okay, down to this 88 area. So what could happen is we may, have this Gartley, we may have a rally, but if this rally doesn't break this previous high here, we could still end up with this scenario, although we may develop some more twists and turns in the middle. And that's a very that's a character of these ranging markets, that you're going to have these twists and turns giving you bullish and bearish signals almost at the same time, or nested within each signal you have a bullish or bearish signal. So keep in mind, that's what the market's telling us. It's very choppy, very uncertain within this range. Okay, so that's the dollar yen. And that wraps it up for this week. Check out fxtimes.com for more analysis updates and educational live events. And once again, I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst here at FX Times, wishing you a great weekend.